Hey everybody, folks at home, welcome back to Root TV. As always, it's been a while. For some reason there's always a long lapse between interviews, but we are back in this hot, muggy, humid, nasty day. But it's not nasty inside. It's cool. We got air conditioning. And guess what else we got on the show? We got the one, the only man himself, Elliott Fullam. How you doing, Elliott, today?
I'm doing fantastic. How about you? Thanks for having me.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I was a little stressed out before the show. I don't know if you have this problem, but like 5 minutes before I do an interview, my pets like vie for my attention. They want dad all of a sudden. Like they know. I think they sense like, oh, he's doing an interview now. Let's just get his attention for nonstop. Like right now, my dog's in here, but she's all right, fine. But my cats were crying 7 minutes before air. They're but now they're fine. So thank you guys for letting me do the interview with Elliott. I hope they can hear me. So
Yes, yes. I mean, I think they're just excited. I think they're just excited for you.
I think you know what I think they're Terrifier 2 fans. I think
Oh, man.
I think when I stream it and then I stream your music, they're just sitting there just like vibing out to it, and they just knew I was interviewing Elliott today. I think that must be it. It's got to be it.
That
Got to be.
must be for sure.
Must be.
That's definitely why.
Yeah. Uh, so it's great to have you on the show, Elliot. It's been a long time coming. A lot of things to talk about today. You've got a big tour coming up. And let me get that off the bat first. And before we talk about this is your first is it your first like kind of like true like different city tour outside of Philly, right?
Yeah, I've done like a couple shows, and I opened up
Yes.
for Sarah Shook and the Disarmers for two shows.
Oh, nice,
This,
nice.
this is like my first official tour, and I am very, very excited. Very excited for it.
You got that good nerve, like that good nervous energy, right? It's like it's good in it. Not nervous, but like, well, sort of nervous, but it's like more excitement, right?
Yeah, it's more of like I just want it to sound good. I want people to be excited. I want people to be happy. And
Yeah.
I just simply care. So I feel like that's a good thing to be nervous about.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think you're gonna do well. I mean, you got Atlanta coming up. You got North Carolina. Are you guys drive you guys I guess are you driving or flying to Atlanta? Driving to Atlanta or flying?
Driving the
Wow,
whole
I've done that. I did that many years ago. When my dad drove me and my brothers and my mom to Atlanta one time for a wedding. It's a pretty long freaking drive. So good. Have some good music in the vehicle.
where I'm already planning probably right after this interview. I'm gonna
Yeah.
compile the playlist, the road trip
Yeah,
playlist.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good idea. So you got Atlanta. From there, you're going to North Carolina. Then you're coming back home. That's a cool loop. You're going back to Philly to one of my favorite spots, PhilaMoca. It's a really cool spot in Philly. Folks at home, if you've never been there, it's such a cool spot to see a show. It's kind of an intimate space, and I love it. I think that's going to be awesome. Actually, that show in Philly. So a lot of people watching from Philly because both Ellie and I are from the area. Uh, Go to the show because it's a week from tonight, I believe. I think it's a week from tonight, the 25th, 24th, 25th, 25th, at PhilaMoca. Have you ever been to PhilaMoca for like a show before to see somebody perform, or is this your first time there?
Will be my very first time there, and
Wow.
great things. And I've looked at the venue, and I am beyond excited to go to PhilaMoca. It's gonna be fantastic.
Yeah, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. It's really I just love the atmosphere. I love the vibe in there, and then my brother can attest to it. And my brother's never been there, but I always put it over to him how much I love that place, and it's just a really cool atmosphere. So that's gonna be awesome. Then you're going to New York City, the Mercury Lounge. That's gonna be a tight show. That's gonna be really sick. And that's I think yeah, I said New York City, so I'm not familiar. That's got to be like in the pretty pretty uh the city part of the city of New York City, right? It's right in the heart of it, I think. So it's gonna be a crazy show that night.
Yeah, I'm. That's another one I'm very, very excited for. I played the Mercury Lounge a while back for
Hmm.
my first like official show,
Right,
uh,
right.
a venue ever,
Yeah.
and it's the same thing that you probably loved. The vibe, the energy of PhilaMoca, Mercury Lounge. I love it. I love it there, and I'm excited to go back.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll have to make it out to Mercury Lounge. I haven't been to too many spots in New York. And one thing that was kind of interesting was like you're kind of doing it in reverse. Like and I always am a proponent of creating rather than consuming, but you're creating music and going out there and playing them in venues that you haven't really taken in music in before. Talk about like, PhilaMoca, like we just said. Like some of the spots in Philly, like Kung Fu Necktie, some of the other spots Johnny Brenda's, these are different spots in Philly that you really probably haven't been. I don't know. Am I right or wrong on that? Have you been to shows around there or?
I actually haven't. I haven't been to many Philadelphia shows yet.
Yeah.
A lot of the shows that I've gone to are either like in New Jersey or New York, but I
Right, right,
did
right.
one Philadelphia show. Uh, I forget what the venue was called, but it was for Duster, and that was
Oh,
a
cool, cool.
uh, fun time.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a whirlwind. I mean, it's I mean, I was looking because I didn't realize the time frame of your albums. Elliott just dropped earlier this month, Ready to Leave, which is streaming everywhere. You could pick it up anywhere. I was listening to it on Spotify. It is it on Bandcamp or no? I don't know for sure. It's on
Yes,
Bandcamp.
on all platforms, every single one.
Okay. Such a great album. I just love I you have a unique kind of I don't know how to explain it, but it's like a very introspective and very just deep kind of like it's its own like it you you're creating art that is your own unique voice. Like when I listen to that, it's like, oh, that's Elliott's art. That's not anybody else's. And that's really the hardest thing. I had Luke. It's funny I'm saying this because one of the last people I had in here was a punk band called Teenage Halloween. I had their lead named Luke on the show, and I said the same thing to him. Very unique vocals, and today it's hard to find a unique sound because everybody kind of sounds like something else, but you're very unique. So props to you, Elliott. I mean, for really creating some unique art, and it's sky's the limit for you.
Thank you. Thank you for all the kind words. I really do appreciate that a lot. Thank you.
Yeah,
And I'm glad the album. I'm very glad you like Ready to Leave.
yeah, absolutely. I thought it was fantastic. But prior to me talking about Ready to Leave, what I wanted to tell you was I looked because I wasn't sure of the dates, and I saw okay, What's Wrong came out in 2022, and then End of Ways 2023, and then Ready to Leave, this month. So holy shit, are you doing an album every year now, or is this like just because that's crazy? That's crazy. I mean, it's
That's
good. It's good crazy.
that's definitely the goals. And eventually down the line, I might make a second project too.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, but I just really like making music, and the fact that I can make it at home. And the funny thing is, for the
Mhm.
right, I recorded 31 songs and chose the best 10 songs. So for that,
Wow. So you cut a lot. You cut a
yeah,
lot.
I went all out. I
Hmm.
try to go all out.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, back recording at home with my laptop, my interface. It's. I feel like if you have like the whole studio thing and like uh kind of do it that way, it might take longer.
Hmm.
So I feel like my process is very fun, easygoing, and
Right.
also too. So
Right.
hopefully, I'll by the time I'm 96 years old, I would have released the albums. That's
Yeah.
my goal.
Yeah. Yeah. Before we move on, I have to bring up your last music video that had your girlfriend Josie in it. Keep It Close, right? That was the last one, right? I think.
Yeah, that's the most recent one. Yeah, thank
That
you.
was really shot very well, and I was very impressed of how well it was shot. I looked into the description, I couldn't find anything. Like, did you guys shoot that yourself, or did you get somebody to shoot it, or how did that? Did you have a mystery? Did you have a mystery person shoot it? Did you hire on the DL Damien to shoot
No,
it?
no mystery person. Although that would be kind of fun to do at
Yeah.
some line. Uh, that was recorded by like a lot of the shots just my dad and I. A lot of the
Wow.
music videos that we do, well,
Awesome.
videos that we've ever done, we'll just go to a location and just take the camera, bring the camera with us, and
Hmm.
I mean, we're a huge fan of film.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like certain angles and
Right.
stuff like that, color grading. I feel it, yeah, just us.
Yeah. It's,
Very, we try to be as indie and
mhm.
punk as possible. And also Josie's fantastic in it. I feel like she really definitely added to those shots too, for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. She was the natural and it just worked. Everything worked perfectly visually. The song itself is great, but visually, I was very impressed with that. Now Josie, your girlfriend, was she initially kind of like hesitant to be on camera, or did you kind of, or did she like was like, yeah, I want to be in this, or did you have to like kind of convince her to be the star in it?
For this one, no
Oh,
convincing her.
really?
She really
Awesome.
she wants to be an actress. She wants to do auditions and stuff.
Oh, great.
So
Perfect then. Yeah.
that's kind of like, well, maybe we can, start you out, do like a music video or whatever, get you in front of a camera. And her facial expressions and just the energy behind her eyes and everything,
Mhm.
it really does show that I feel like she could definitely become an actress for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. She seems pretty comfortable. So, I mean, it's definitely possibility if she wants to do that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of that's a good segue. So, solid segue into what we're going to talk about next. So um you got folks at home, if you don't know, now you sh not you you should know, but if you don't know, you will know. Um, of course, Elliot was a star of couple years ago. Big hit. Big horror hit called Terrifier 2. And it was crazy amount of how beloved that movie is and how beloved you became as Lauren Lavera's brother in the movie. I had Lauren on the show. So I had Lauren on the show summer of 2020 before it came out. And she was like kind of like I got the vibe of how big it was going to be just from her talking it up and how Damien was talking it up. Talked to Damien at a con, an outdoor Monster Mania con, I think in 2020. And then I had David Howard Thornton on the show in 2022. I think well, before Lauren. I had him on spring 2020. So I had both of them on before the movie. You're the first cast member I've had on after this thing has released, and of course, part three is coming out in the fall. How has your life changed since Terrifier 2 has infiltrated the masses?
It has definitely changed for sure. I mean, I, I've been a horror fan my entire life, ever since I can remember. And being a part of Terrifier 2, I was a huge fan of the first one, of course.
Yeah.
You know, and now going to Terrifier 3 and just watching the evolution of it just kind of
Mhm.
unfold. And it's been what, like 4 years, 4 or 5 years or whatever,
Yeah.
since we've
Yeah.
Terrifier 2. And it almost, I still haven't captured, like, I wrapped my head around it all.
Yeah.
And all that time in between has gone by so quickly. Like it feels like just like maybe like last week or like the last month I was on set filming those scenes in Terrifier 2. And
Yeah.
then, recently filmed Terrifier 3. That felt like a day ago. And then now uh it's pretty crazy. It's pretty cool to look back at it for sure. And my life has definitely changed. And
Yeah.
I still haven't wrapped my head around it.
How does it feel? I mean, I know you've probably been asked this before, but like as such a young person, now like going to cons and people asking you for your autograph and getting pictures, it's got to be surreal and almost like is this like a legit, you feel like you probably feel like it isn't real. Like, do you feel like it's a out of body experience? Like what, you know what I mean? Like how does that make you feel when you go to a con and somebody's just like fangirling or fanboying out over you?
I'm just waiting till the day when the real me takes off the VR headset and I realize that I'm playing a video game this entire time.
Yeah, we're just living in a
We're
simulation. Yeah, so it's
in the video game.
yeah.
But It is pretty cool. I honestly, I mean, going to horror conventions, it's one of the coolest experiences ever because I, like I said, I'm a horror fan. I like talking about horror films. Like I would,
Yeah,
I'll just to hang out and talk to other horror fans. It's just that in itself is so much fun and
yeah,
a pleasure. And the fact that I get to do it, for a movie that I love, a horror
yeah.
movie, a horror franchise I love,
Hmm.
that still can't wrap my mind around that I'm in. And then I get to meet some of my favorite celebrities. Like
Yeah,
convention, I got to meet Giancarlo Esposito, who was
right.
like my
Oh my God. Yeah. He's a great
all
dude.
like that. I still also haven't wrapped my head around. Like just stuff like that. Like it is pretty crazy to think about for sure.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And it's only going to get more, more intense. And so before I forget, before it slips my mind, I have to get this into you because you're the first person I've talked to. Like I said, from Terrifier since it came out. The whole controversy about it's so funny how this happened. And Damien agrees, I'm sure. The press that it got from the people that were saying like they were puking in the hallways, it totally had a reverse effect. Like that, I think it would have done well on its own. But I feel like what brought it to that next level was like, holy shit, there's people puking watching this movie. I got to go see it. What is this movie? So I think like it did well at the box office, but I think it went to that next level, which it did because of all that press of people vomiting. It's insane. I don't think there's ever been a mainstream movie that's gotten that kind of uh kind of thing. Like, what are your thoughts on that whole situation with like people throwing up? See,
It is pretty cool.
yeah,
And like you said, it definitely brought it to the next level because it was all word of mouth,
yeah,
right? Like
yeah, word of mouth, right?
what this
Exactly.
crazy horror film, and then I even saw like a video. It was probably satire of I think of someone like pretending that they were being like possessed while watching Terrifier. That was goofy to watch, like to see stuff like that too. It was just like
Yeah,
it's anything that's like word of mouth, and especially with horror fans themselves, like the horror community is such a tight knit community. The
right, right.
second anyone hears like, oh, there's this crazy new horror film, people are
Yeah,
throwing up. That
yeah.
piques my interest.
Oh
That
yeah,
piques my
yeah,
interest.
yeah.
I'm
It
like, I want to
makes me
watch
want to
that
see it.
film.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Uh, so I'm actually pretty grateful. I'm pretty great. I hope the people that uh are okay. I'm sure, like for sure. Like I would never ever want someone to throw up or
No,
or
no,
faint or
no.
anything.
Yeah.
But uh, it's been a wild ride. It's been a wild ride.
Yes. I mean, it really has, and you like I said, I mean, you do a fantastic job acting. I mean, I
Thank
can't
you.
can only imagine you've improved since Terra. The more you do it, it's just like anything, you get better at it. So, I mean, three coming out in the fall, I believe Damien said October, right? So that's going to be another step, another level, to this whole thing. One speaking of Damon, like I think a main reason why people were so shocked at this movie is like for the past like 15 years in horror, 20 years. What's 20 years ago? 2004. Yeah, more than that. 25 years. It's been like nothing but CGI. So this movie was like totally 80s practical effects. Damien and I think the hell's his name? Phil did all the practical effects. And I think the new movie from what I understand, Damien even hired more people to help with the makeup, Jason Baker and some other people from that team. And I just feel like people aren't used to that style of gore, and I don't know, maybe that's what made them throw up. Maybe they're just used to like computerized little, you know,
Yeah,
animated things and stuff like that.
people got too used to it. People got too used to the CGI, and then they
Yeah,
forgot about like how all these classics, some of my favorite, and a lot of horror fans' favorites, horror movies use practical effects
yeah,
back then. I've
hmm
always been a huge fan of practical effects, and that was like, you know, being able to see the blood while acting,
yeah,
and to see Art the Clown. It's not like this. Nothing is CGI about Art the
yeah,
Clown.
yeah, yeah,
Uh, you know, to see that in person, not only, I mean, it's a nerd out moment for me,
yeah.
like to watch it all happen and see how they do it, but it's just better. It's just more fun to act like that. Like the blood can get on me. You know, like
Hmm.
it's not. I'm not gonna watch the movie after, and it's gonna be a completely different, thing like aliens and. But
Yeah.
I feel like it could be used right if CGI is used right, of course. Like for like a superhero movie or like The
Yeah.
Boys
Right.
or something,
Right.
which I'm
Yeah.
watching that new season. It can be used right,
Right.
but for horror films, if you truly want to horrify someone,
Hmm.
go with the practical effects. Go.
Yeah.
I feel like Terrifier for sure did it best. Damien for
Hmm.
sure did it best with the use of practical effects.
Yeah, for sure. I saw another movie recently that did a similar style. Late Night with the Devil, and it was a set in the eight, I think it was set in the 80s or 70s, I forget. 70s or 80s was set in, and very much practical effects style, and I enjoyed that too. But yeah, it's weird. So it's like it's kind of like a weird situation because it takes more time to do the practical effects. I mean, whereas you could just sit on a computer and do it, and it's cheaper for like especially indie filmmakers. But sometimes you gotta put in the work to get a better piece of art, and pardon the pun, because Art the Clown. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
also want to watch that movie that you were just talking about.
Oh, you got to
It's
check it
been
out.
like on the top of my list to watch for so long.
Yeah,
I just unfortunately I haven't gotten around to it, but I
you'll love
really
it.
want to watch
You'll
it.
you will love
I,
it for sure.
I didn't know it had practical effects. That makes me
Hmm.
even more excited. Now
Oh
I'm
yeah.
more excited to see it.
Oh, absolutely. It was total that style. Total that style. Absolutely. Yeah, you have to check that out. So before we move on, Elliot, because I do want to talk about, I kind of want to backtrack and talk about something in your career that I was just uh wanted to ask you about. But before we do, um, is there anything, and I'm not talking about spoilers clearly, because I always say this. I told this to Lauren and I told this to David before Terrifier 2 came out. I said, don't do it. Don't, I don't want Damien to kill me. So I don't want you to give me any spoilers whatsoever, but what can you tell me, speaking in generalities, about like the vibe or the of creating a Christmas horror movie and Terrifier 3? What can you tell us? Because I'm sure there's people at home watching this saying like, oh, is he going to say anything about Terrifier 3? Without giving any spoilers, what can you tell us about it?
What I can tell you is that it's gonna be a crazy horror
Hmm.
film. Uh,
That's fair
it's gonna
enough.
be a horrifying Christmas.
Okay.
uh, uh, it's gonna be fun. I feel like I don't know, like you said, I don't know what I could say without saying any spoilers,
Yeah,
but
right,
it's
right,
gonna be
right.
fantastic. And I think the fans are definitely gonna love it for
I
sure.
I think it was I think I love the setting because the first two were set on Halloween, which is I love Halloween horror movies. I'm a sucker. Even if the movie sucks, I'll watch your movie if it was set on Halloween. I just love that setting, Halloween night. I'll watch any indie movie on Tubi that's set on Halloween. I don't even care. But Christmas is perfect setting. And I didn't even think about that until Damien said it. I was like, oh my God, this is genius. Do you have any personal favorite? I picked three that or two or three. Yeah, three that came out in time ahead. Do you have any personal favorite Christmas horror movies other than clearly Terrifier 3 that you can think of off the top of your head? Because there really isn't too many like classics. There's a few classics, but can you think of any like Christmas horror movies that you enjoyed throughout the years?
Yes, I can. I think I might see him creeping behind you. Cramp.
Yeah, that's one of them. That's one of mine right
Yeah,
there. Yeah,
that's my number one main go to every single time when it's around winter. We throw that movie on.
yeah.
It's just fun.
Hmm.
It's just fun. Like anything Christmassy in horror, it takes the innocence and fun out of Christmas and twists it, and just destroys it, throws it out the window. Uh, I'd
What do
say
you think?
Krampus is probably my
Yeah.
number one. And
Oh, yeah.
David, he did the mean one just recently, where
Right,
he,
right. He was played the Grinch, right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, I'm excited to be a part of Terrifier 3, which is now going to be also in the rotation during Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely. I have no doubts about that. So my three that I picked were Krampus, the original Black Christmas, and there was a newer one, probably about 7 or 8 years ago or so, that came out called Better Watch Out. It was a really good, not too much scary, but it was
It's like a thriller, right? It's
yeah,
like
yeah. It's like three kids. The babysitter gets taken hostage, and he's like, by the I don't want to spoil it, but if you haven't seen Better Watch Out, it's a really good Christmas suspense horror kind of film. So check that out. Those are the three that top of my head anyway. But check
good
that
choice.
out. Yeah. So, but I'm a big Krampus fan because the guy that made Krampus made one of my favorite movies, Trick or Treat, which I absolutely love.
I love
So,
chicken.
yeah. So what I was hinting at, Elliot, was, and maybe people don't even know this, and we're going to backtrack. The first time I saw you was many, many years ago. I'm a big punk rock guy, and of course, I'm an early YouTube guy. I was been on YouTube forever, and years and years ago, you used to do. I mean, I guess maybe you didn't really stop, but since the other, your other ventures kind of stalled, you used to do a lot of interviews as a young kid with a lot of notable celebrities. I'm talking about, people from Metallica. I just watched the one because I hadn't seen it in a while. The one at Monster Mania with Doyle from the Misfits. That was like 2017 or 2018 or something. What are your memories from that? And tell us some of your favorite celebrities that you interviewed from the Little Punk People YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, well thank you for asking me. I'm gonna try. I actually am trying eventually to work my way back into getting some more interviews and sprinkle it in here and there.
Hmm.
But the my favorites of all time. I mean, obviously, one that you mentioned, Doyle. I really loved. He was so sweet, so
Yeah,
cool,
seemed that
and I've
way.
been a Fitz fan like my entire life. So interviewing him was pretty surreal.
Yeah.
Another crazy one was definitely James Hetfield,
Oh,
because I mean that's another band, Metallica and Misfits, both of them growing up, two of my favorite bands of all time. Seeing James Hetfield when he walked in, that interview was probably one of the most nervous moments I ever was in my entire
yeah.
life.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Yeah.
A
Hmm.
ton.
The
And then when he
anxiety.
finally walked in,
Hmm.
it literally felt like the metal god. One of the metal gods was approaching me, uh, and that was pretty epic.
Shout
And
out,
then
wait a minute, pause right there, Elliot, not to cut you off, but shout out to Justin, your dad, for for
yes,
for for making that happen, I think, right?
yeah,
He made that happen.
yeah, he would
Unbelievable.
he would send emails out to like publicists and
Yeah, that's
uh,
amazing.
every it, yeah, he made it happen.
That is
I,
amazing. Shout out to
I
you, Justin. That is that is awesome.
I owe all the interviews to him, and then
Mhm.
I would say for my last slot, if I had to choose three, one of my favorites, and everyone's always been kind to me. I love all the interviews I've done, but
Yeah.
Ice T and Ernie C from Body Count.
Yeah,
That was
yeah, yeah.
a fantastic, fun interview. I think they were recording music or recording a music video or something at the place where I interviewed them.
Hmm.
When we walked in, like the door was creaked open and they were all sitting there. Like I think it was like they were in a studio. Everybody was standing around iced tea and a light was shining on them. I was like, oh, that's it right there. Right? And then we had to walk up and go
Yeah.
upstairs, get ready for the interview. That was also very, very fun.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing, and the way, just the great questions you would ask at such a young age. I mean, you were very young asking these huge celebrities. I would have, my God, I was so shy when I and so I had so much social anxiety when I was that age. I couldn't even step in the room with these people, let alone do what you used to do and hold the phone up to their face and like the speaker. Remember? You used to do that. Remember that gimmick?
Yeah. Uh, Look, I definitely feel that anxiety. I definitely had that anxiety, especially back then too. Uh, it's it. I I don't know. I actually have no clue how I've done it, and especially like I was saying, the James Hetfield interview.
Yeah.
That one, I was probably one of the most. I still remember to this day how I was feeling. And we were sitting there in that waiting room, and it was just us. And then sometimes every minute or two, like someone would walk in, and I think it's James Hetfield,
Yeah.
and my anxiety would go up to the max, and then it would then it's not
Yeah.
him. It's like someone that maybe went and grabbed something and then
Oh
left,
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
simple stuff like that. And I definitely feel that anxiety today. I felt it right before this interview.
Hmm.
I'm feeling anxious about this tour.
Yeah.
Uh, I guess it's just a part of us humans
Yeah.
going.
It's part of all of us, but I think some of us, myself included, and from what you tell me, you feel it more than others. I think everybody feels it, but I think some more than others, because it can be. it can be an overwhelmingly crazy. I don't know. I've had anxiety since I was a kid, so it's like it's not anything different to me. I totally know what you're talking about, and it's not so much anxiety, but it's like that kind of like holy shit feeling you
Yeah.
feel it like come up your your sternum to your throat. It's like holy shit, what the hell?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I actually get mad at it. I'm mad, like, why am I
Mhm.
feeling why do I feel like this right now?
So
Like,
that's a weird thing. I mean, like when I meet somebody, I don't know, I'm looking at a picture of some people, Sid Haig, House of a Thousand Corpses, who was the sweetest person I've not even celebrity, like sweetest person, uh, that one of the sweetest people I've ever met passed away. Met him 3 times at Monster Mania. You're very familiar with that con. And, even on the third time I met him, I was like, why is this happening? Like I feel comfortable talking to him. I know he's super nice. Why does my heart automatically start to like do like moonsaults and triple jump moonsaults in my it's weird. I don't know. It's like an involuntary response or something. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Yeah, it's weird.
yeah,
But
something no control over.
yeah. Well, hopefully you have minimal, or at least not so much of that during this tour coming up because I don't know. There is a way to harness it into positive energy if you're able to do that. But I think once you get going, you know what I mean, after the first couple
Yep.
gigs, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I was for my very first show, I did it at a record store, and I was so nervous for that
Mhm.
and anxiety through the roof.
Yeah.
But after the first song,
Hmm.
I for some reason, like, it just went away for the whole show and the next couple shows after it that I played.
Once you get
Uh,
started, yeah.
yeah, once you get started, once you get going, it's almost like all that worry is there. Like, now that you're there, now that it's
Yeah.
happened,
Hmm.
it's like, okay, all right, this is what I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
And you kind of tap in, like,
Right.
you with yourself, I guess.
So one thing, absolutely. So one thing I wanted to do today, Elliot, was I watched that interview with Doyle from the Misfits, and I'm like, I don't think anyone has ever turned the tables on Elliot. And I came up with 11 quick questions, little punk people, Elliot, old school Elliot style, that I'm going to interview you. I might even just for visual hold my phone up to the thing and just pretend that I'm you, and you're going to answer questions that that you would probably ask somebody else. So
I'm
now, so now
I'm
the tables have been turned. All right, you ready?
yes.
All right, here we go. Number one, favorite punk band. I can't do your 8-year old voice, Elliot. That'd be ridiculous.
Favorite punk band of all time.
Favorite favorite punk band. Favorite punk band of all time, Elliot. Go.
I'm gonna have to go with Black Flag.
Okay, Black Flag. Very good. Good choice. Good choice. Strangest, and there's going to be no segue either. I'm just going to go right to the next question like you used to do. All right. Strangest fan interaction at a convention.
Oh, the strangest fan interaction I've ever had. Someone gave me a movie that I wasn't in to sign, and I said, "You sure you want me to sign this? I'm not in this. I'm not in this film. Really?" And you're like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you sign it. You sign it." I'm like, "Really? I don't even know what this is." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'll sign it." And I signed it, and
Huh.
they said, "Oh, wait, you're not in this film. Wait, you're not?" I'm like, "No, no, I'm not." And then they were confused and they walked away.
I wonder who they thought you were.
I have no clue. I think it was like a Christmas film too, from
Yeah.
what I remember. It. I don't think anybody there was in that film. That's what
Huh.
that's what confused me.
I just saw your face and was like, "Oh, quick, grab the DVD that this guy's in. I don't know his name, but let me." That's crazy. That's very unique. I don't know if that's ever happened before. Like,
It's
got the
pretty pretty strange.
got got the celebrity wrong. Did you end up signing it?
Yeah, yes,
He
I
did
said
sign. Okay.
that's what happened. They told me they said, "Yo, so you're in this film, right?" After I signed it, I was like,
Yeah.
"Wait, I said I was in this before." So that was pretty strange.
If that ever happens again, just pretend that you're in it. And it's like, yeah, it was awesome. Filming was awesome. I loved it.
something that crazy. So many stories on.
Catering was fantastic. They fed us well. All right. Best vegan burger or sandwich in Philly
Oh,
or anywhere. Or Jersey. Or Jersey.
there's a restaurant that I love and horror fans would love. If you're horror and vegan, there's this place called Monster Vegan, and
Never
they
heard
have
of it. Never heard of that.
burgers. It's on South Street, or I think it's
Really?
on South Street or a little off of South
Okay.
Street. It's fantastic. The food there is delicious. The energy there is delicious. Well, not delicious. The energy
Mhm.
there is pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think they have like horror movie nights, and they'll have like classic sound
Really?
stuff. There, the owners there are so super duper sweet. Highly recommend it for
And what
sure.
say the name again? Monster what?
Monster Vegan.
I had no idea this existed, and I'm a big South Street guy, so I don't know. I don't know. I want to go there.
Yeah,
I go to when I eat vegan, I go to Tattooed Moms on South Street. Very good vegan food
yep,
there.
down there
Sandwiches,
too.
burgers, yeah, for sure.
They're
Um,
fantastic.
so what do you hope there is? What do you hope there is waiting? This is a direct lift from one of your questions. What do you hope there is waiting for you in the afterlife?
Ooh, that's a good one. I hope it's just peace. Whatever it is, I hope it's just peace and calmness and just relaxation. If there's a way, if in the afterlife you could see, your family members, that would be fantastic. Uh, just beauty and music and art. I want to be able to listen to my favorite songs. I want to be able to watch my favorite horror movies. Uh, but if there isn't, my dream would be if I was able to like be reincarnated as a tree, as simple as it is, just to be
I
like a
hear you.
tree middle of like a forest somewhere.
Yeah.
Just birds can nest on me, where they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Squirrels, I'll just
Hmm.
be and just sit down and exist. I think that would be pretty awesome.
Great answer. Great answer. Of all the cast members of Terrifier, other than yourself, who has the best taste in music?
Ooh, that's a pretty fun question. There's people that's pretty hard because people have some fantastic taste. I would say the taste that I wasn't expecting. That
Hmm.
would be how I'll answer this.
Okay.
Damien loves like a lot of like the classic yacht rock, just like
Oh,
like
really?
hack and stuff. And one time at a horror convention, and I thought that was hilarious, and I'll never forget this. At a horror convention, it was like at an after party or something,
Yeah.
and like pure music. Everyone was talking and stuff. He
Hmm.
just phoned and put like a yacht rock playlist on, like Fleetwood Mac or something, and just
Yeah.
placed it there, and he couldn't hear the music. I just know it's playing, and it made me feel good. That I feel like was probably one of my favorite uh HorrorCon moments, hanging out with Damien. So he's got some fantastic taste.
Awesome. Awesome. When I talked to Lauren, she told me, and I found out that she does martial arts or kickboxing or something like that. So my question, Elliot, is who would win in a kickboxing fight, Lauren Rivera or Donald Trump?
Lauren, for sure. I feel like Lauren can take on a lot of people.
Especially
I'm
a
definitely
78-year-old person.
yeah, very true, very true. I'm putting my money on Lauren
Yeah,
for
me
sure.
too. Me too. Me too. What do you think about people who don't like animals?
Oh, how
Like
could you not?
like like people who don't like dogs or cats.
How can you not? I mean, I get it if you have like uh, maybe if you have like some trauma growing up with like a dog or
Phobia. Yeah, yeah. I used to say the same thing. Yeah.
that, but also there's people that are allergic. I get that, but if you don't have any of that and it's just a cute little kitten or a puppy, how
Mm.
can you hate that thing? It's like a ball of life, of existence. It's like sometimes like at nighttime it'll be like 2 a.m. or whatever, or 3 a.m. I'll go to the bathroom, and as I'm walking I see my cat just standing there and just smiling at this. Just brings me so much joy that being exists and it has a personality and it's fun and it's cute,
Yeah.
and it likes food, naps, and playing with toys. And it's all of its priorities. It's all it has to deal with. I'm all about animals.
Me
I love it.
too. I think people are like that or just don't understand.
They don't like.
No, they don't at all. All right. When does Halloween season start officially for Elliott? When does Halloween season start?
I'm always in the Halloween spirit. Um, honestly, I it's kind of weird. I don't know how to explain it. Sometimes I'll feel the Halloween vibes. Oh, wait, am I all good?
All good. All good. Gotcha. We got
My
you.
phone for a second. I feel like I'm always in the like. It's just different vibes, different energy. There's been times where it'd be like one of the most summerful days, like beautiful weather on the beach, and
Mhm.
I'll just be thinking about Halloween.
Yeah.
Uh, and the
It's
same goes for like Christmas or something. Like it's kind of weird. I feel like whenever, anytime, it can be anytime, any day, it comes and goes.
Speaking of Christmas, next question. Best Christmas memory growing up.
Best Christmas memory growing up.
Could be an item that you got from Santa. Could be uh, I don't know, anything, whatever. What's the first thing that comes to mind? Best Christmas memory.
When I was really, really young, I remember uh I was like probably like 6 years old or like really, really young. Uh I asked for a DS for Christmas
Mhm.
and my parents pranked me. I opened I opened up all the toys and stuff, and I was really excited. I was like, I was thankful. I was like, oh, this is awesome. And then I opened up the last thing, like, I hope this is the DS. I really want to play video games. And then I opened it up, and it wasn't. I'm like, oh man.
Wow.
And said, oh, what is this over here? I just said, what is this? And it was the DS, and I was like, uh, that's one of my very first. Like I say it because that was probably one of my earliest Christmas memories I can remember, but also just going to my grandparents' house, growing up and hanging out with all the cousins and us being nerds, talking about toys and video games, and
Yeah. Oh,
I
same
was,
for me. Just me and my cousins and Christmas, Christmas Eve, all that stuff. Yeah.
yep, yep, definitely. My glasses strap fell. I should take it
Yeah.
off.
That's all right. All right. Next question. We're almost done. We got a couple more. In 80 years, 80 years. So that's a long time. I'll be long dead, but you'll probably be still alive, hopefully. In 80 years, what does Elliot want to be remembered for in 80 years?
In 80 years, I'll be 99 years old. So,
Yes.
hope, so hopefully I'll make it to that. That'd be fantastic. I just want to be remembered as someone that tried to bring as much good as possible to the world, whether it was through music, through acting, through art. Uh, Mainly that. I just want to make people feel honestly. And it doesn't have to be me that's remembered. If it's just like I don't know, Terrifier 2.
Yeah.
Uh, if it's if it is the art itself that makes people feel good, that means my goal was accomplished for sure. That's my goal, and
Great
that's why
answer.
I will be releasing 50 albums by that time.
Yeah. One a year. Well, one a year in 80 years, that'll be 80 albums.
Yeah, 3 albums.
All right, final question of my little punk people ripoff segment on the show tonight. If you could pick any celebrity to help you in a fight against a horde of zombies, what celebrity would it be and why?
Any celebrity?
You've got a horde of zombies now, not just one. You're fighting a horde of zombies.
Or that's a fantastic question. Honestly, oh man, you know, I'm being really strategic here because if it was a horde of zombies, I not only want someone that's really strong, but also that will have a plan that
Yeah.
will understand. Um, you know what? I might have to go with someone like. Oh, I got the choice.
All
I
right, let
got
me
the
hear it.
Mainly because I would also be excited and just be happy that I'm in that experience with them. Henry Rollins would be so much
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
fighting off the zombie
Oh my
horde.
God. And he wouldn't even care. Yeah, he'd be wailing. Yeah.
And I could just picture him with all of his that black flag energy,
Yeah,
the world, and angry at the apocalypse. Uh, and I'm sure there will be some great one-liners too while he's like slashing the zombies. Uh, that and I would like to see that. I wish there was some way he would do like a movie like that, a zombie apocalypse. Henry
oh my
Rollins.
God. That would
That'd
be
be
genius. That
that.
somebody needs to produce that. My God. Henry Rollins and the zombie apocalypse make it. Somebody, if you're listening, produce it, pay Henry, and yeah, that's money in the bank. I'll go see it. I'd pay for it. I'd see it
See
in the theater. I'd see it in 3D. I'd see it in IMAX in Atlantic City. I don't care.
on beating up zombies in IMAX 3D, but also to cast us too in it because we came up with this idea.
Yeah,
Let's.
yeah, yeah.
I want to be on set with Henry Rollins.
That's my only, but random fact for folks at home who don't know is my only. Well, I have two IMDb credits. I played a zombie in an indie horror movie, For
Nice.
Love of Zombies, and archive footage on Tom Green's internet talk show. So yeah, I think it's safe to say that Elliot has me beat. So just saying,
Uh,
just saying.
that zombie performance probably fantastic, and I feel like he would do well in the zombie apocalypse movie.
Yeah, I have a zombie in my blood, I think. So, Elliot, before we get out of here tonight, I have I'm curious, like, I live in South Jersey, but I'm always in Philly. You're in the same vicinity, Philly, South Jersey area. As your career progresses, whether be it music, be it Terrifier, you don't even know. We didn't get any spoilers. We don't know if you die in Terrifier 3, if you live. Damien could be making Terrifier 4. You could have Terrifier 4 in mind. You're going to be used for who knows. As your career progresses, do you have plans as you get older to stay in the area? Or are you thinking about maybe when you get older moving to New York City or Los Angeles? Has this thought crossed your mind? Are your parents pissed off at me for asking this question because they want you to stay in Philly? What do you think?
Uh, so I feel like honestly, I like visiting places. I love going to different places. The only other place that has ever crossed my mind was California because
Yeah,
I loved the weather so much.
right.
Orange County because you get to see all the mountains, and I'm all about nature.
Hmm.
But I'm pretty happy to live in New Jersey. I like
Yeah, too.
I feel like it's kind of if you people that live in New Jersey know, I feel like it's an overlooked state, very
Hmm.
under state. It gets made fun of, but if you live there, it is fantastic. It is beautiful. You got nature. Like I don't know
Yeah.
if you can get out. Oh no, you can't. It's just
Lighting. Yeah, the
they're
lighting. Yeah.
looking at this tree here,
Hmm.
and I visited, to all, going to horror cons and stuff, and I visited different places. The trees have different vibes in different states.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it.
Hmm.
And of course, there's different kinds of trees, but when in this New Jersey, the air, the people, my family lives here.
Yeah.
Uh, I feel like I'll be in New Jersey for a while, if not my entire life.
Yeah.
Unless if I'm like, you know, if I get to
Well,
Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, like,
the cool thing about it is like, yeah, yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio level. The cool thing about it is like in Jersey, I mean, you're within like travel distance to like if you get a gig, if you get hired to work in New York, you just take the train and get a hotel and live, for a week or two or however long filming is. I mean, you're close. So, it's doable to stay in your hometown and that's what it is. I always it's a shame though because the one thing you said was how like New Jersey always gets a bad rap and it's whether it be like the stupid Jersey Shore or like People on MTV and all that stuff. Like there's a whole different vibe to it that people really don't understand. They think everybody is like um that kind of like how do I say this without being offensive? Um, that sort of like macho Jersey type beach jacked up steroided douchebaggy kind of person. We're not all like that, New Jersey's a nice, beautiful place. Plus, we're close to the shore, the Jersey Shore. And when you go to the Jersey Shore, there's actually cool people there. It's not like assholes from that show that was on MTV 10 years ago. So I'm dating myself for that show, but anyway, yeah, that's really cool. That you respect your hometown. That's very punk of you, Elliot, to want to stay and not move to LA. Very super punk of you.
yeah, I'm not planning. I'm not planning on moving to LA, but like I said, if I was able to have, a second home, like a condo one day,
Yeah.
and places, so I can go coast to coast, I would like
Hmm.
that. Like maybe I would only go to California during the winter time. I feel like the
Yeah.
winter
Mhm.
on the East Coast. Sometimes that drains my soul. But weather like this, I mean, I know it's kind of like I love the way you opened it, that heat, froggy weather. Uh, as much as I hate it, but I like the way it looks. I like the trees. I like that. I still like the heat. I don't mind it. And I feel like there's a good
Yeah.
balance.
It's a weird thing. We'll wrap it up in a second, but I always, and I know my brothers probably get pissed off at me for when I do this, but like I always look forward to Halloween season. And
That's
Halloween season, you start seeing it in the summer now in stores. And I start like decorating my place in like beginning of September. Um, but that doesn't, I do still love summer though. Like I do love summers and a lot of fond memories and carnivals and fairs and all that stuff and the ocean and stuff like that. But it gets sometimes it gets pushed to the back burner because of my love of fall and Halloween. But yeah, shout out to summer. And we are in it right now. And before you blink, Elliott's tour is going to be over, and we're going to be looking down the barrel of October, and Terrifier 3, unbelievably, is going to be coming out. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
great,
Unbelievable.
great times to look forward to. Tour Terrifier
Yeah.
3. And
So, yeah,
probably
that's
too.
yeah. Elliott, before we tap out, is there anything like social media you want to plug? Before you get to that, I gotta give a shout. I have a question for you real quick. So Little Punk People, like that artwork, some of it I saw the little Easter eggs in Terrifier 2, like some like hanging on the wall. Um, by the way, Terrifier 2, shout out to Fright Factory. Some of it was filmed at Fright Factory in Philly, one of my favorite haunts in Philly. Love Bates Motel in Westchester too. Very good one. Go to Westchester. It's the Bates Motel. But the artwork that's done by your mom, right? Like
Yeah.
most of that, right?
Yep.
Danielle, I think her name is, right? Danielle.
Mhm.
Okay. So shout out to Danielle. I love that style. Always kind of like Halloweeny style artwork. Love that stuff. And we can't go the whole show without giving your mom a shout out. Come on now.
Yeah. Shout out to my very hardworking mom. Her art is brilliant.
Yeah.
It's a little bit
Oh,
is
there's
covered
one there. Okay, yeah,
in
right there. Yep.
one of her paintings. And also, not only my super talented mom, but Josie's now painting too, which is
Oh,
pretty exciting.
wow. Awesome.
Go on the website, you see some art, support it. Uh, I love my mom. I love Josie. They are true artists. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if I walked out there and my mom is painting right now, and
Yeah.
Josie. Uh, yeah, definitely go and support it. And in terms of social media,
Yeah.
I'm on thing. I usually have like two accounts: Little
Mhm.
Punk People and Elliott Fullam on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook page is Little Punk People, YouTube Little Punk People, and of course my Spotify and all my music is just my name, Elliott Fullam.
And go out and buy a ticket and go
Yeah,
see Elliot on tour. Okay. You
that,
better.
I would love to see y'all. We'd love to see y'all at the shows.
Yeah. I'm hoping to make it out to the Philly show. So if I do, I'll be sure to say hello for sure.
That
At PhilaMoca. And anybody in my area, like I said at the top, go to the show, support Elliot. He's creating a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff, and he's doing a lot of good. So support, support, support. Yeah, that's all I got to say. Elliot, any last words for the folks at home watching this? Any last words?
Well, first off, I have a word for you. I just want
Okay.
to say thank you. Thank you for having me on. Thank you. It was fun talking. Uh, I loved conversating. I love your style of interviews.
Thank you.
Just hanging out, talking about movies, talking about music. It's a blast. I really do enjoy
Thanks,
this.
man.
For everyone out there, I love you all, and if I do see you at a show, definitely say hi. And I appreciate every single one of you.
I appreciate everybody too. Thanks so much. Thanks so much, Elliot, for being on the show tonight. And much luck. You don't need luck, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Much luck and everything else that you do. Onward and upward from here for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, and same to you.
All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. Thanks for joining us, guys. Cheers. Have a good night, and we will see you real soon.
Have a good one.